Hello and welcome. My name is Errity and this is Wise Woman Television. We are doing a pick a card reading today on how to be epically supported by the universe. I'm very excited about this. This reading feels so good and so juicy. So I cannot wait, and I hope you watch the whole thing, at least your reading. And so I first encourage you to like and subscribe. Liking ensures that other people see this video, and subscribing ensures your own commitment to yourself. I also want to let you know I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching opportunities, all of which you can find below. And I will get started by putting up a list of the card piles 1, 2, and 3. And we shall begin. So, card pile 1, how to be epically supported by the universe. And what I mean by supported epically is spiritual support, tangible support, abundance. We're talking financial resources as well as social resources. Just how to be epically supported in all ways, right? When we're epically supported, we feel like a red carpet is rolling out in front of us. It's like a celebrity, right? This person's over here, what can I do for you? What do you need? And then this person's over here saying, here's your water. And then the red carpet's unfolding and rolling out. And you're like, well, this is an easy existence. All right, that's what we're talking about. So first thing for pile 1 that's coming up is see the value in yourself, in your own work, in your own path, and who you are. So instead of comparing yourself to other people, I feel some of that less than kind of energy, like, looking around and not realizing your own true value because someone else does it this way or someone else does it differently. And because you are you and you're used to seeing through your own lens, you aren't able to see all that you are, the beauty that you are, the gift that you are, because you're you. So you take it for granted. It can be difficult to see ourselves in our full glory when we're looking from the lens of ourselves. Like everything that is good about us or great, our strengths, our gifts, or whatever are so innate to us that we don't really see them as clearly. They're not as pronounced because we see our whole context, right? We know all of the good, bad, and the ugly. So it might be difficult to sort of, pick out those things that we truly value about ourselves. But that's part of you being epically supported by the universe. You see your own value. God, Great Spirit, universe, goddess will see that in you too. Treating yourself as a God, goddess, co-creator, seeing yourself as highly valuable. Really knowing your worth is really important for you, pile 1, to feel epically supported, to be epically supported by the universe. Now, also, you are being guided to enjoy your life as it is. So there's something here about maybe wanting more or wanting to do better, wanting to be better, wanting to maybe even improve. Whether it's self-improvement, some of you it's self-improvement, some of you I'm also feeling like life isn't good enough as it is. You want the bigger paycheck, the greater job, the more rewarding career, the happier, healthier home life, so on and so forth. Like there's always something that could be better. And that's a great knack. Like that's a really great gift to have, that you're able to see the potentials in things. You're able to see how things can improve, can expand. And so part of your opportunity in this life is owning the whole paradox, the full paradox of that, right? So it's two sides of the same coin. One side might be that you see the greater potential or the higher perfection in things. The other side is acceptance, seeing the potential and the perfection in life as it is, right? In this moment. So that is part of your journeying, and that's what's going to support you to be epically supported by the universe, coming into greater acceptance of the wholeness that is present now, the beauty that is present now, the perfection that is present now. Really stepping into a life, and whether it's you create the life, but this feels more of just seeing the abundance that's already here. Seeing the abundance that's already here. Now, I'm not the type of person who's ever going to say, be grateful or choose gratitude. I mean, yes, those things are natural, and that's why I'm going to ask you, I would never ask someone to be grateful, because when we are grateful, it comes naturally, right? We don't have to ask ourselves to be grateful. A coach or a teacher is saying, practice gratitude. Well, gratitude unfolds naturally when we can see, right? It's a perception shift Gratitude will come naturally as a result of seeing things differently or seeing things as they are, okay? So taking a look at the abundance that already is in your life, that is in your job, that is in your career. And if it's a home life or a relationship or a job or whatever that is incredibly taxing and draining or something of that nature, then now is your opportunity to change that. Like if it's so incredibly draining and taxing and upsetting to you or triggering or whatever, and you've kind of done the inner work around that and you're not able to see any abundance, there's your sign to change that. You know, to honor what you truly want, to honor who you truly are, to honor what you deserve, right? Because pile 1, you are working on owning your value and owning your worth. Okay, so really opening up to the extraordinary and the ordinary. Making yourself available to seeing and perceiving and experiencing the extraordinary and the ordinary, pile 1. That is what brings you epic support by the universe. Now, also pile 1. This is a good one. So we did talk a little bit earlier about looking outside of you and seeing things and other people that maybe you don't see in yourself or you're unable to value yourself, some comparisonitis or evaluation and judgment or whatever, and kind of always seeing yourself as less than or not as great, and right, this drive that you have to always improve or do better, experience more, experience better, and finding the extraordinary in you, finding the extraordinary that's already available in your life. Well, there's something here as well about seeing life again as it is. So, ow, my neck, I'm sorry. This is what your mid-30s does to you, okay? Little pain in my neck. So, that might be relevant for some of you, by the way. Sometimes when you experience something in a reading, it actually is relevant. So sharing that, I'm not going to edit this out in case that is relevant to what I'm getting ready to share, which is seeing life with your projections on it. So some of you are not seeing, and this is the theme of the whole pile, you're not seeing life as it truly is. You're not actually seeing what's right in front of you because you are seeing it through the filter, through the projection of the projection screen that was designed, developed, and built when you're between the ages of 0 and 3, okay? And maybe a little bit up to 5, but for most of us between 0 and 3, you developed your little projection screen, and it has like its own filter of all these particularities and belief systems and, you know, what we inherited from our parents and what we observed and what we felt when we got punished or got yelled at or whatever, right? And so we developed this whole filter, and then we continue to see life through that projection, through that filter. Oftentimes, if we're unaware for the remainder of our lives. So your message here, what's trying to come through for you, and actually there's a lot of emotion here, woo, is that a lot of your reality you're seeing through this filter or through this perception as opposed to what it actually is. Woo! So there's a lot of emotion there, and I think that there's some beauty here, some healing that's available, as well as obviously sharing here in this reading the awareness that a lot of what you're seeing isn't quote unquote real or true to the extent that you might think it is, okay? So for example, this is one example, and it's an easy example, and this is the one that came through, so I'm going to trust it, and that's that, you know, between the ages of 0 and 3, or even in your childhood, we'll say, if you developed that filter or that perception of there's not enough, maybe there's not enough food because we have too many siblings, or there's not enough time because mom's always rushing around and so is dad and they never have time for me, or if you develop this awareness that I don't have enough money, or there's never enough because I see mom and dad fighting about money, or mom said I can't get that toy at the store this one time because we didn't have enough money. That's all it takes is one simple like iota of an experience, and then it can become ingrained and embedded, especially if it's a true full-blown pattern in your parents. And so one little seed and it, you know, kind of infiltrates the system, and let's just say some of those experiences happened for you. Well, now your experience is walking around with beer goggles on, except they're not beer, they're scarcity goggles. This is one example. And so you're seeing everything, again, this lack mentality. Whoa, pile 1, do you see how this is connecting everything? You're seeing the lack in yourself. You're seeing the lack in your life. You're kind of so busy, occupied, maybe even unaware of it. Oh, a lot of emotion here. You're so busy and occupied, not actually busy, but seeing life through the scarcity filter that everything is not enough, that you're unable to see the abundance, the truth, the beauty, the love that is actually there and available for you, okay? And so you have to own this projection. Pile 1, there's some incredible healing available for you. There's so much emotion here. And so I think for you pile 1s, whoever connect with this pile, this is life-changing for you. This key alone will change everything for you. And I'm so emotional. And I'm just so grateful for that. Like, I'm just so happy for you because being able to take these goggles off, and I want you to imagine that with me right now, pile 1, you have your scarcity goggles on, right? You're seeing yourself in lack. You're not good enough. This is what you're thinking, right? This isn't true. This is a story. It's a part of you. It's your filter. Life, oh, that's not good enough. This person. And of course, you are likely consciously not saying this isn't good enough. You are just seeing the lack that is there. Okay? Scarcity is having you see the lack that is there instead of what is there, the abundance that is there, the potential that is there. Okay? So these goggles that you have that filter everything through scarcity, imagine them sitting on your face, and now I want you to take them off. Take them off, and then put them to the side. Imagine there's a pot of fire there, or a fire pit, whatever you want to imagine. Put it in there, light it ablaze. Watch it burn. Take that money, watch it burn. I mean, not the money, the goggles. The lessons I learned, very relevant, right? That's a song for you. So let that burn. You know, you might even pause this video. You might finish it later. Finish that clearing. Finish that ritual. Okay? Let this energy be transformed. Own this projection. It's not real. It's your filter. You remove these goggles. You remove this filter. You remove this scarcity perception, and the universe provides epic support and abundance. So the other guiding message here and the final message for you is sort of returning to the abundance or knowing or awareness within yourself, okay? Because, you know, when we kind of, again, if you get off track, all right? So you burn these goggles, that's your ritual, your symbol of this is over, I'm no longer putting myself through this, I'm no longer gonna see the world or perceive people or things or my life through this, like I'm done, or even myself, I'm gonna own my value, I'm gonna own the value of my life and the value of these people that are in my life. Okay, if you find you get off track, if there's a little hiccup, stop looking with these eyes. Close them, look within, and return to the truth of you, the truth that is here, the truer perspective, your truer, more abundant nature, the wisdom that tells you and guides you and leads you and supports you and shows you a different vision, inner vision. If you find you're getting back into self-evaluation, comparisonitis, judging other people, judging your life, thinking it should be more, that it's not enough, that things are lacking, you immediately go to what needs to be changed or what needs to be fixed or what's not good enough, that starts happening. Close your eyes. Let this be a symbolic act that you start using as a daily practice or weekly, however it's coming up. You stop looking at what's outside of you, go within you and see or look for the wisdom that is already there, your inner vision, your inner sight, and see what that tells you. Now, I am feeling like for some of you, there's going to be a little bit of a hiccup or a block there. And I don't mean an actual block, but it's going to be difficult because you're so used to seeing scarcity that you're going to have to wrestle a little bit with your resistance. Wrestle it, baby. Sit with that wrestling, sit with that resistance until it softens, kind of like melting butter, and then be there until likely tears come, or maybe it's laughter, or maybe it's revelation, or maybe it's chills. Sit with it long enough, if you can, to sort of shift, transform, and get to the other side to see the truth that is waiting for you. So pile 1, you have some incredible transformation coming for you if you follow this path, and you will be epically supported by the universe. So pile 1, I'm so glad you came to this reading. I encourage you, if this resonates, comment below. Please share your story. Again, I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching sessions to support you with this path, with this reading, to bring it all to life. Thank you for watching, and until next time, thank you. Okay, pile 2. We're talking about how to be epically supported by the universe. And what I mean by epic support by the universe is spiritual as well as financial, as well as material and immaterial abundance of all forms. We're talking the red carpet is rolling out from underneath you, like we know how it is for celebrities. They stroll up, right? We got someone on this side asking what they need, fixing their makeup. We got someone on this side saying, here's your glass of water. Someone's rolling out the red carpet, and whew, all their needs are met, right? This is the kind of experience that I'm talking about when I talk about epic support by the universe. So what is required of you in order to receive epic support by the universe? Okay, pile 2. Getting used to connecting to and attuning yourself to we, the whole, the collective, the one, the all, one and all. So instead of seeing things as what I need for me, there's already some emotions here because I can feel the deeper wounding that's there, and we're going to talk about it. These card piles have been making me cry today. Pile 1 was a whole situation. So, is getting used to seeing things from a perspective that supports, again, the all, the whole. And where this comes from for you, pile 2, is a situation more than likely in your younger childhood. We talked about this a little bit for pile 1, and I'm assuming this is what's going to come up. People are going to be shown those deeper subconscious belief systems or blocks. We can say they're not actual blocks, right? Because there are perceptions. We can change them at any time. So they're not actual blocks, but we develop these ingrained patterns oftentimes between the ages of 0 and 3. You know, we could even say up to 5, but generally our earlier ages, and all it takes is one memory, one moment, 1 second, one response or reaction from an adult, especially if our parents were ingrained in old patterning and we just experience one little thing. It just kind of embeds it in there, and, you know, that's all it takes. So some people might be like, oh, well, it didn't happen for me and it wasn't a pattern or whatever. We inherit it from our parents. One little thing is all it takes, and boom, you know, it infiltrates the system. And when we see things from a place of need, that's when we become, quote unquote, selfish or me focused or I focused. I need, I don't have enough of. We aren't able to tune into the whole, the all, the one, the collective, and being able to see how. So I'll just back up. It's difficult to care about or to value the whole, the all, the one, the collective when our needs aren't met. Okay? So when we are coming from a place where our needs aren't met, so they actually were not met, or we believe they're not going to be met, but this is the pattern that was likely ingrained as a child, we become me focused, I focused. Why? Because we're always running around, walking around on this planet, just desperate. We're an unfull cup, right? We're an empty cup who needs something because our needs are unmet. Our needs are unmet. So there's no other way to see the world, but we'll see only like, for me, what's in it for me? How can I support myself? What can I get from this? How can this make me money, right? What can I get from this friendship? Now, a lot of this is subconscious. You, pile 2, aren't walking around thinking all of this, more than likely. Some of you might be, and when I say this, you're like, oh my gosh, that's totally me. I don't really like to be like that. I don't want to be like that. I'd rather be more, right? Some of you are experiencing that, but some of you are like, that's really not me. A lot of it's subconscious, okay? So if you picked pile 2, that it could be the case for you, that you might be behaving from the positioning or occupation of what's in it for me, or there's not enough for me, or there's never enough for me. And so you are, quote unquote, self-focused because your needs have not been met. So part of you learning to be epically supported by the universe is being able to release that, okay? Recognize that you're an adult now. If you're watching this, I do recommend it's for people 18 and up, right? If you're watching this, you're an adult, more than likely. And so you do now have the chance to have your needs met. Even if you didn't as a child, even if your parents didn't or couldn't as a child, no matter what happened before this that left you in a spot or a space of need, you're grown. You can do this now for yourself. Meet your needs. Fill your cup. It might take a while, weeks, months, probably even years, to shift this pattern. And you'll find that your abundance in whatever form continually increases as you do. As you fill up your own cup and meet your own needs, the universe, God, Great Spirit, God, Goddess, whatever, will reflect that back to you, will support you epically in return, right? And as you release this old patterning of this me focus, of always having needs unmet, you'll be able to shift that me focus to a we focus, okay? So the irony of getting we focused is it requires you to take care of me, to take care of you, right? So if you want to step into being able to care for the whole, the all beings, the planet, whatever, these larger collective visions or things, It starts with filling your own cup, okay? Second card. This is about becoming your own inner parent, like parenting yourself maybe the way that you never were as a child. This is becoming your own master. You're becoming your own creator. You get to decide how this goes. You get to decide if you're taken care of or not. You get to decide if you meet your needs, how you meet your needs, how often you meet your needs. Like there's like a wise elder, like an archetypal energy that's coming through that is available for each and every one of you who are watching that wants to guide you through this process, right? You can call your inner crone, your inner elder, your inner medicine man or woman, your inner parent, whatever. But this is the part of you that kind of knows better and knows how to take care of itself and to support itself, and recognizes that the better it takes care of itself, the better it can also take care of others, but that it does start with meeting our own needs, allowing our needs to be met, allowing ourselves to be supported so that our needs can be met, and then having enough of overflow and abundance to be able to, step into that larger embodiment of we instead of me, right? Me is a very narrow focus. Having our needs met allows us to hold something much greater. And so learning to parent yourself effectively, learning to parent yourself efficiently, learning to meet your needs, to support yourself. Again, there's a strong, like even fatherhood or father energy here that really wants to support you, wants to guide you and support you. And so if you find that you're challenged by this or struggling with this, tune in and see if you can connect with that inner parent, that inner guide, right? It's a guide. It's a guide. You're going to become, as a result, your own master. There's something here about stepping into a greater evolution of yourself, this deeper inner resolve, this deep inner knowing, like just really stepping into your shoes, right? The shoes of your greater destiny, the shoes of your fate, or what is meant for you. It's really beautiful, powerful, strong energy. And this is, right now, it might just be a part of you, but as you go, as you grow, this is going to become the greater evolution or occupation of yourself. Like you'll become the embodiment of this. You'll become that greater parent, that wise elder. And so, of course, if we're younger adults watching this, I don't even know if you want to be an elder in the next 2 years. However, this is your life's journey. And the more you step into this energy of becoming a greater parent for yourself. And I even want to pull a clarifier card for you. You guys know I don't do this often, but there's something else that wants to come through here. It's just such powerful energy. Can I get a clarifier for the master for pile 2? Ooh. Right. Whoa. So exactly. Becoming the source of your own sustenance, becoming the source of your own nourishment, becoming the source of your own support, becoming the source of your own parenting. So really tapping into the part of you that is limitless, that is abundant, that is unlimited, that can fill this own cup. So part of you learning to take care of yourself from me focused to we focused, which supports you to be epically supported by the universe, because the divine will, God's will, universe's will is always we, always, one and all. It's never just one. So if we want to tap into divine will, we always have to tap into one and all, right? And if you're having trouble, it's because your needs aren't met and because you are lacking. So that's what this whole thing is getting to. Now, part of your path then is connecting to the part of you, the spiritual part of you, the soul part of you, so that you can again tap into this wellspring of eternal and limitless abundance that's available at all times. So you can begin to understand that the true source of your own power, nourishment, sustenance, and support is not the world of form. It is the plane, the dimension of God, Goddess, Great Spirit, Universe. That your true sustenance comes from another source, another place that is not bound by the time-space reality. And the more you develop and strengthen this bond and relationship with yourself, with your truth, with God, with Source, the more you are going to become attuned to the truth of your own abundance at all times. And the more you're going to be able to meet your needs through spiritual means, more than you'll ever have to rely upon or ask for anyone out there, okay, or ask from anyone. Because the world of form is limited by nature, right? There's only so much someone can give. There's only so much money we can make, right? There's only so much food we can buy, right? And that's, of course, within the constraints of our current economic and societal model, okay? However, right now, that's the way the world of form is limited, all right? If we keep looking out there for what we need in here, we're not going to find it, all right? We got to start developing the source of sustenance within ourselves, learning to nourish ourselves, by ourselves, for ourselves, by God, Great Spirit, Goddess, Universe. You understand? So developing that that inner compass, gauge, wellspring is where your key to being epically supported, or your key to greater abundance, lies. Now, there's something here for some of you. I feel like some of you even become a kind of teacher or something. Like, I'm just getting a lot of this energy. It kind of, for me, like as I'm sharing this, I'm like, my mental, like the human part of me is like, well, I mean, this is kind of left field for pile 2. Like, I mean, all of a sudden they're a teacher, like, what are we talking about, right? But that's the energy and the message that's coming through. There's something here about, again, you become this grand master, and I feel like as a result, you're able to, or you step into teaching, supporting others, embodying this work, being able to share generously. I think that's actually a greater message, is you're able to share generously with others because you tap into the emotions. You tap into something greater. You tap into something that is unlimited. Because of this particular path and life lesson for you, you step into becoming, it feels like some kind of, you know, guru or spiritual teacher or whatever. Not that you will be Jesus or Buddha or whatever, but you become so tapped in and tuned into your own eternal abundance, and to your awareness and embodiment of this abundance you're able to truly share generously. And it may be you know, actual physical harvest or bounty, but I do feel like many of you will be sharing your wisdom, many of you will be sharing your gifts, many of you will be sharing guidance, many of you will be sharing support, whether you do that formally or informally. You know, to each his or her own. Here we have a group of people watching, but you become someone who can share generously and bountifully because you are backed and supported by God and the universe, because you've tuned in, you've tapped in, and you've developed such a keen, astute, connected awareness that literally you are unstoppable. Nothing in the world of form intimidates you or threatens you or makes you feel limited, because you know the truth of your own nature, the truth of your own being. Yes, so the final card, the final message coming through here is that it's all already within you, pile 2. All these things that you want out there in the world, the things that you've wanted as a child, the things that you wanted between the ages of 0 and 3, that you had to legitimately provided with, that you had to as a child because you don't have the awareness, you know, the wisdom, you're not able to tap into any of that yet, right? So this is all like, this is the path. This is the path that we all move through, limitation to limitlessness. And so as a child, yes, it was obviously ideal that you would have had your needs met, all right? But now as an adult, that you have the choice, you've become your own master, you've developed this deep spiritual connection and relationship, you realize that everything that you needed, everything that you wanted, everything that you thought you had to get out there, everything that's kept you so self-focused, you know, everything that made you feel empty has to do with what's happening within you. Okay, that you have, it's like a faucet that you can turn on anytime that you want to. Clearly, there are needs for food and things like that we can only find in the real world. But there's deeper needs here that you wanted to be met, that you needed to be met as a young child or even as an adult, because you've carried this with you, that will only be met. And I want you to recognize that, well, the messenger's here, the messenger wants you to know that these needs that you want the world to provide for can be met within you, okay? Go deeper. What is it that you truly want from other people, and how can you begin to offer that to yourself? How can you begin to allow people to give to you? People who are me-focused tend to be the people who distance from others, again, because they're not we-focused, right? Because they might take from me, or I need to get my needs met. All very subconscious. You probably don't even recognize this. Some of you do. You know, you might distance yourself from intimacy, distance yourself from connection. So you are challenged by stepping into a we embodiment and mentality, because again, your needs have never been met. But if you start availing yourself to meeting your own needs and recognizing what the needs that you have, oh, you know, I'd really like to be supported with blank. What are you actually looking for? I'd really like to be supported with blank. What are you actually looking for? Find ways to be able to turn on that faucet within your own being and watch the abundance flow. Okay, just like a faucet. It's already within you. It's here, anytime, any moment. And the more you develop and strengthen this bond with you and all that is, the more epically supported that you are going to be, pile 2. Incredible reading. Incredible reading. So thank you for watching. If this landed for you, please share your story below if it resonates with you. And I also encourage you to like and subscribe. And as I shared in the introduction, I offer both personal readings as well as coaching sessions to support you to bring this all to life, to support you on this path. So thank you, Pile 2, and until next time. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome. This is how you are going to be epically supported by the universe, okay? And what I mean by epically supported is like material and immaterial abundance. We're talking celebrity status, like you show up and someone's asking you what you need on this side, they're giving you a glass of water on this side, someone else is rolling out the red carpet. Life is ease. It's a flow. You just walk and everything just unfolds for you. So that's what I mean is, how are you creating Pile 3 epic abundance, all right? So for you, Pile 3, your path is all about growing or blossoming more into yourself, okay? This is about becoming true to your most authentic self. This is about knowing yourself deeply and actually beginning to step into that in your everyday life and your everyday experience. This is about, again, being honest with yourself about what you truly want to see in your own life, what you want to experience in your own life. And this feels light, it feels easy, it feels organic, it feels natural. So it's honoring your true self, honoring what it is that you truly want. This is being true to your authentic self, learning who that authentic self is. Who are you beyond what you've been taught and told? Who are you beyond the programming and conditioning of this world? Who are you beyond your limited identity in the third dimension? Who are you beyond what your parents said you'd be or wanted you to be? Who are you beyond the beliefs that were imparted to you as a young child? Who are you beyond all the projections, all the things people wanted you to be and expected you to be and wanted, even what you wanted to see yourself be? Who are you? Underneath all of those layers, who are you? So Pile 3 here, I think there's an opportunity for you to step into an even deeper, truer, more specific embodiment of who you are, okay? Now, I'm not feeling anything particularly heavy or quote unquote suffocating or overwhelming in terms of like old identities you haven't let go of or baggage that needs to be let go of. In fact, Piles 1 and 2 had some childhood wounding that we dove into pretty deeply, and I was like, you know, experiencing emotions and everything and trying to move through that reading without having to stop. And Pile 3, I don't feel that for you. For Pile 3, either you've done a lot of the healing work or you are, and something might come up in the rest of the pile, so we'll see what else comes up. But either you've done a lot of the healing work and you've been walking this path for a time, or perhaps in particular with this topic, with this theme and this intention of being epically supported, for whatever reason, things from your past just aren't creating a barrier or a block or a hurdle for you. So awesome if that's the case. This is really an opportunity for you to just step into an even greater, truer, it's like your next level. Like you've already been on the path, you've already been doing the healing, you've already been stepping into your greater creatorship, and this is just like the next level. Like you've kind of already let all of that other stuff go. And if you haven't and you feel like there's a lot more healing that needs to be done for you, then that is valid. And you could also check in with piles 1 and 2 and see if one of those also resonate for you, and we'll see what else comes up for pile 3. Now, what is being asked of you though, pile 3, is that you begin to spend more time in quiet and silence with your true self, with your true nature. You're going to find out more about what your soul wants from you. Okay, so this is about your soul guiding the path. Got it? Me and you both now. You know, finding time in nature, creating more space alone or in quiet. So that means away from distractions, away from the noise of the world, away from all the people who might need you or nag at you, you know, away from work, away from social media and Netflix and all these things that we have to distract ourselves with in the 3D. And you're being asked just to sit with yourself and be with yourself, because when you do this, and as you do this, you're going to discover more of what your soul wants from you. You're going to discover, you know, your truest path, again, your most authentic self. You're going to be given the guidance from your soul that wants to come through, that's going to support you in whatever way. It doesn't show us here, but as a result of that, following your soul's guidance, following the spiritual guidance inside of you, because you've created the space to connect with yourself and make space for those inspirations or those whims or those desires to see through, you know, an upwelling of them becomes available because you've created the space for that through the silence, the quiet, the nature, the meditation. you then become available to epic abundance from the universe, because this is about more of stepping into your true power, what you came here for, what you came here to do, and you're going to get those precise steps and the influence and inspiration that wants to come through by doing so. So this is very, very cool. The next card, because when you step aside and, like I said, you quiet some of this noise, right? The world. Some of you, I feel like I'm getting the sense of family, householder. I even get some masculine energy here, so I feel like some masculines will be watching this. And I don't say men or women because our biological gender or sex doesn't always just determine how we identify as. So the masculines that are watching, I do feel like some of you, I feel some like pressures of householding, of providing, of maybe the kids and the wife and all that stuff. So if you resonate with that, hey, drop it below in the comments, let me know. I also know a lot of my listeners are females. And so you could be playing that masculine role of provider, and doing all of the things and trying to do all the tasks and whatever. But either way, I feel like, there's something here about learning to connect with your inner voice so that it can be the leader of your life. So that it can be the guide of your life, so that it is doing the one walking and talking and leading and acting and doing, instead of letting this limited human mind, right? Because I think for pile 3, a part of this is not that you're ever detoured. We're never detoured. We're never like totally unaligned or whatever. But I think for pile 3, you might be thrown off at times by your own mental chatter, by your own anxieties, by the things that kind of happen around you. And this doesn't feel heavy or doesn't feel like emotional or something that's connected to the past. It very well might be, but that's just not what the focus of this reading is for pile 3. This is more of like everyday distractions. How can you simplify your everyday? How can you cut out those everyday distractions? How can you make your life more peaceful, more attuned, more connected to nature, more connected to God, Goddess, Great Spirit, Creator? How can you support yourself to hear and be able to listen to that inner voice that is much quieter than the noise out here and the noise in your mind? For you, pile 3s, this is much more about how you're living your everyday life than it is about these childhood wounds or childhood healing and things like that. Either you've been on the path for a while, again, you've cleared that, you're kind of on one level and now you're taking it to the next level, or these just are not relevant for this reading. But pile 3, do I want to say it's simple for you? It's simpler than these other piles, I'll tell you that right now, right? Is it really ever simple when we have the resistance of our human mind or our ego? No. However, you guys don't have a huge tidal wave that you're working against. You're just working against your own mind, okay? You're working against maybe the little kids in your life. Like, I need this, I need that. Those are very real, but I'm letting you know that this isn't like the deepest wounding you've ever faced. This is not the biggest demon you've ever faced, all right? So if you want to be epically supported, simplify, streamline, silence stuff, block it out, take the time that you need to be with yourself, to connect with yourself, to attune to all that is, and to hear your inner voice so that it can guide you. It will not lead you astray. These other things kind of keep you kind of out of your element, out of your groove, out of your powerful place, okay? So it's not that, again, it's not the end of the world. It's not even like a big deal necessarily. It's that for you to be in true, whole, perfect alignment, for you to be epically supported and guided by the universe, and for this red carpet to unfold for you, you have to honor that little voice. And it starts now by creating more space for that inner voice, creating more quiet, creating more, again, simplified experiences, your everyday life, creating a routine that honors your spirit. That's really what it comes down to, creating a routine every day, creating a lifestyle, a life that honors your spirit, that honors your soul. Spirit first, everything else second. When I say that to you, what falls away? What immediately is like, boom, tons of stuff should be falling away and out of your life. If I say spirit first, everything else second. Spirit first, because here's the thing, the beauty of spirit first, of living that philosophy, is that everything that you do will honor both you and your children, if you're the householder that I felt in this pile, okay? Not that you have to have children, not that you have to be a householder, okay? That was one example. However, people get nervous like, oh, well, if I put that first, how am I gonna like do what I need to do? And I have to get all these things done, and the laundry's done, the dishes, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, right? That's our human mind, okay? And what I'm saying to you is this: when you prioritize spirit, now I am gonna get emotional. When you prioritize spirit, when you prioritize the voice of your soul, okay? it's going to honor you and everything else around you. It's going to honor the needs of your children, the needs of your spouse, the needs of your job, the needs of your land, you know, the needs of your pets. Because like I said, I do feel like a lot of extraneous noise. So for a lot of you, you will have families. If not, I feel like you have a lot of duties in your career and a lot of emails you're having to answer to or texts you're having to answer to. And it might not even be always career. You know, maybe you're on the dating scene and you're trying to keep in touch with all these people. Noise. It's all just noise, okay? Whew. Separate yourself from that. Align with spirit, and that alignment will honor you and all that is. So if you do that one thing, the dominoes will fall in the direction of supporting the deepest, truest you and epic support and epic abundance from the universe. You have one thing, pile 3, you got to do. And you're not, like I said, you're not fighting the same battles card piles 1 and 2 are. Not battles even, but you know, we can call them our inner demons, our inner battles, the things that we have to face. It's the hero, the heroine's journey. You know, you've either done that, some of you have. Some of you, I feel like, again, it's not even relevant for the piles, but you just have to change your everyday to honor the truth of who you are. And the final card, it couldn't be more perfect. Defend to the end the worthwhile. Okay? What's the word I want to say? The way I want to phrase this. It's do this. Honor your spirit, honor your soul like your life depends on it, because it does. Okay? Especially if you're on here because you want to be epically supported by the universe and you want greater abundance, you want the key for the red carpet to unfold and so on and so forth. This is it, baby. Okay? Like your life depends on it, because it does. And there's something here then, strength of boundaries, strength of conviction, strength of resolve, strength of commitment, strength of discipline, the strength of honoring yourself and your connection to God. Number 1, baby. Hard. It is hard, okay? It doesn't have to be hard. I don't want to put that terminology on it for you, but I can feel that in this reading, that this is hard for you guys. Okay, so maybe this is hard as pile 1 and 2. But I'm feeling like for some of you guys, this is probably one of the biggest things I could ever ask of you. Good news though, I'm not asking, God is. But hey, I'm here to remind you. I'm here to nudge you and support you in the direction of your highest potential, of your greater evolution. Why do I wear 80 shirts? We don't know, because then I have to pick them up the whole reading. But you honor your spirit, you honor your soul, everything falls into place. Again, it's a domino effect. It's like the lifting of a dam, all right? Everything just funnels through. Everything comes through to you when you begin to honor your connection to spirit. Now, I do want to see if there's anything in the way of your relationship or connection to Great Spirit. I just feel called to do this, so let's see. So, pile 3, there is some resistance or perceived block. There's never a real block, okay? It's like, it's our perception that creates a block, but we can always shift that. What's in the way of you and your connection to spirit? I say because of my emotion that comes through, is your lack of trust. So trusting God, Goddess, Great Spirit. So this is your bigger wounding, right, from childhood. Usually from childhood, not always, but usually these things, these limiting patterns, limiting beliefs are installed between the ages of 0 and 3, sometimes beyond that, the greater experience of your childhood. It doesn't take a huge wounding for this to happen. It takes one little thing, even the inheriting from your parents. You don't trust. So here's the thing, pile 3, I feel you. I feel you trying to make this work. I'm going to keep this in because I want you to know how authentic and true this is for me and for you. I feel this for you. And you've been trying to make this work. This is important to you. This is a priority for you. And that's why I felt so light earlier. Because you've been doing this, like you're trying. You want this to be true. You want to put God, Great Spirit. You want to put yourself, your connection to your soul first. And the thing is, you keep making all these negotiations with God, all right? You're like, hey, if you do this, I'll do this. And if I do this, then you do this. And if you do, and then I do. And if you can take care of the laundry, then I can do this. And if you bring me that, then I can do that. And blah, 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 right? It's like these inner negotiations that happen. Now, it's not going to sound like that. A lot of it is subconscious. But instead of just giving way, surrendering, and giving over to God and trusting wholly and completely, you put this stuff right in the middle. Well, okay, but only if. Well, okay, but if that happens. Well, okay, with this condition, with this condition, with this compromise, with this condition. Boom, baby. Let me tell you, that is the hurdle that prevents that same level of abundance of being epically supported by the universe. That is the hang up, the hook that prevents that whoosh of water from the dam that, you know, when lifted comes right on through to you. That's it. It's the holding on with your pinky. Let go. That's hard work. I know it is. It's the greatest thing I'll ever ask of you. It's the greatest thing God or Great Spirit will ever ask of you. That's why it's this. These are all these piles are journeys of a lifetime, and yet you learn infinite abundance. You learn how to be epically supported by the universe through letting go, through trusting wholly and fully, through stopping with that dialogue and those negotiations with God to make it easier, to fix it. Well, if you could only do this, then I'll do that. All it requires of you, again, is to put spirit first every day in your daily routine. Start there. Begin there. Thank you, Pile 3. Epic reading. If it resonated with you, please share in the comments below, like and subscribe. And as I shared in the introduction, I offer both personal readings as well as coaching to help you bring this to life. You want some help to let that pinky drop? I got you. Thank you, Pile 3. Until next time.